What does the wife think about my louder Toyota Tacoma exhaust? Let's find out. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. So I was curious to ask, and I thought I'd get it on video because I've never asked her before. Honestly, she doesn't ride around in my Toyota Tacoma hardly ever. This is probably the first, I think it's the first time she's been in it since I put the new louder dual exhaust on the truck. So as we're out cruising around today, we've been driving around for, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that. She's had a good taste of what the exhaust sounds like on my Toyota Tacoma. I thought I would move the camera over her way a little bit, and we're gonna find out. But before I do that, have a listen for a second as we accelerate. You can hear it. There you go. I think it sounds awesome. But as I said, let's bring in the wife, otherwise known as Krista. There she is. Good afternoon.
How y'all doing?
See, it's like you just arrived at the studio. I just announced you were here. You walked through the doors. The crowd applauded. I'll probably throw in a little bit of applause back there. So
yeah.
if you hear some applause on the video, it's because I just inserted it. We don't have a whole lot of people sitting around us.
They're hiding in the back seat.
Yeah, this is not in a studio. So what I did, as I mentioned, I put a dual exhaust on the truck. We've got exhaust note coming out of that side and that side, as well as whatever tiny amount you might get out of the cold air intake. But frankly, I've never really noticed anything. And let's ask Krista about that, because she has been in the truck with just the cold air intake on. Did you notice anything from just the cold air intake?
No.
No, you couldn't tell.
You have the wrong
difference.
one, first of all.
The wrong one?
Yes.
Well, what would be the right one?
What's the name of mine? I forget.
You don't even, see, she doesn't even
Mine-
know. She's like a lot of people that comment out there. They say things, but then they don't even know what they're talking about.
I do know. I just have forgotten the name. But
It's
my
the
cold
air raid
Thank
that
you.
she's referring
Yes.
to.
And that one produces a great sound.
Now, I had looked for one of those actually for the Tacoma, and I couldn't find any. I don't recall if it's because they don't make it for the Tacoma, or it was exorbitantly expensive, or I just didn't like the looks of it, which I wouldn't have a problem with actually if it gave me the kind of sound that the ones that we have on the Jeeps give. But I'm a little reluctant to spend, $600-700 or whatever it was for a cold air intake, not knowing if it was going to be any different than what I currently have.
Right.
But it is awesome on the Jeeps.
It is awesome.
So, moving forward from that, we do have the dual exhaust that you can hear yourself.
Yep.
What do you think of it?
I love it.
You love the dual exhaust?
I do.
Really?
The only thing I found interesting is when you're accelerating at a higher speed, I could feel the vibration of the exhaust in my seat.
I see.
Which is interesting.
Probably because the muffler is about right there or so.
Probably. But
Well,
I love it.
A little further back, actually, but you love the sound of it. You don't think it's droney or too loud, or we have to scream to talk to each other, or
No.
anything like that.
No.
That's good. Now, what about putting this kind of an exhaust on your Jeep?
I'd be game.
Okay, well, that's the
You gonna
true
order
test.
it today?
That's the true test, you see. When you ask somebody if they would have whatever they claim that they like on their own vehicle, that's when you really find out whether they like it or not. Now, I don't know if we get off camera and she says, I want that thing on. No, she wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
But that's when you find out if people really do like what you have when you offer to put it on their vehicle. So, which would be awfully generous, by the way, if it was, say, a stranger, or maybe a vehicle that you didn't really want to spend your money on, something like that. What do you think of the dual exhaust look
I love it.
on this truck?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Dual exhaust is awesome.
what about the look of, particularly on this truck, it exits out of the sides, both the passenger and the driver, versus
Out of the
dual
back.
tips coming off the back. Yeah. I mean, do you have a preference there?
I do. Dual tips off the back, I think, I like those better.
Okay, let's listen to it. That's from a rolling start up to 55 miles an hour. Now, what did you think of that?
Sounds good. It is a little bit droney when you're really giving it the gas, but otherwise...
Well, how do you define drone? What does drone mean to you?
It has this higher pitch ee.
I see. So that kind of step up in tone when you get on the gas.
Yeah.
I noticed that, and I think that's more a function of the Tacoma, I guess, because it seems to, I don't know, like click into a different sound itself when you get on the gas. And as that runs through the exhaust, it kind of does get a little bit higher pitched. You probably noticed in the video that it got in tone a little bit more of a trebly or higher pitched sound than just the bass that you get like on a normal takeoff.
Yep.
Now, as far as installation, I'm assuming that when Randall and I were putting it on this truck, which by the way, Randall helped me put it on here, which was awesome.
Yeah.
It's just kind of cumbersome, especially when it's a dual exhaust, to manipulate everything you have to manipulate with your own two hands. But when you think about installation, is this something that you think you could actually do? The dual exhaust?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never installed one. It sounds like 4 hands are better than 2.
Do you have any interest in installing an exhaust on a vehicle?
Why not?
Really?
Why not?
Well, stay tuned for the upcoming Krista installs an exhaust on her Jeep Wrangler. Actually, she has done a couple of installs on the Wrangler. I believe she put the side steps on basically with my help, but she did do the... I
did the majority.
The muscle work of it. I just kind of stood there and looked pretty. You know, sometimes you need a model in the background to kind of jazz up the video a little bit. So, you know, that was my role in that video. Which, by the way, it's other channel plug time. The channel that has that install on it is RobMotive JT. That's about the Jeep Gladiator with a little bit of Wrangler content on it. And then I do have another channel, RobMotive MT, which is all about mini trucks, currently the Hyundai Santa Cruz. So make sure you check those out. A lot of installs, reviews, things like that on those channels as well. So let's wrap this up. As far as the dual louder exhaust on the Toyota Tacoma, you give that a thumbs up.
I do.
A 1 thumb up or a 2 thumb up? 2 thumbs up from Krista. Now, she doesn't have any more thumbs. I'm sure if she did, she'd probably give it more.
I would.
And you have said that you would be interested on having an exhaust like this on your Jeep Wrangler.
I would be.
I see. Well, possibly a future project. We shall see. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to get on here and kind of get the wife's, she goes by Krista, view on the dual louder exhaust on the Toyota Tacoma. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think from what you've heard in the video. Sound good or not so much? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.